Hey, what's up? Andrew Kramer here for VideoCopilot.net, and welcome to yet another evolution tutorial. Man, there's tons of these things. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at this sort of nature save the world design, and go ahead and preview that. So it's pretty straightforward, and the key to this tutorial is showing you how easy it is to create quality looking designs relatively easy. So here's sort of what we're after. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to create a new composition. DV, 10 seconds, perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a new solid. Make comp size and OK. Then I'm going to choose Effect, Generate, Ramp. And we'll set it to a radial ramp. And we'll set the first color to white and the end color to black. And then I'm going to move the highlight area sort of down here, sort of like that. And then I'm going to choose Effect, Color Correction, Colorama. And this is going to allow us to create a quality gradient ramp rather than sort of a two-color one. And I'll go to the Output Cycle. And we'll set this to ramp gray, which gives us a black to white ramp. And then I'm going to click on the top right, and we're just going to choose like a dark green. And then we're going to choose like a lighter green. And then sort of like a yellow. Maybe not that yellow. And, you know, we can maybe just saturate these colors a bit. We want them to be vivid. Now you may run into a problem where you're going to see some banding where the quality kind of seems to be, degraded. And what you can do is go to the project window and alt-click on the 8 bits per channel and switch it to 16 bits. Which will kind of smooth out your design. It'll take a little bit longer to render, but it'll smooth it out. And then you can re-click on it, work at only 8 bits per channel as needed. So I'm going to turn that back on. Looking good here. We can, of course, move these points around still and adjust the gradient. And even on this wheel, you can just kind of move them around to smooth them out, kind of position them where they should be if you didn't click in the right place, all that good stuff. Okay, so here's our background, and then I'm going to go to my project window, and then I'm going to go to Evolution, and we're going to go down to Textures, and we'll take the grayscale textures. We're going to take texture number 12, and we're going to drag this out, and we'll go ahead and scale it down, and we can just kind of position it so this darker side is on the right. And then I'm going to change the transfer mode. So I'll hit F4, and we're going to change the transfer mode to Classic Color Burn. And that's a bit intense, but we're going to bring the opacity down. So you hit T. I'm just going to bring that down just a bit. So we have sort of just kind of a nice texture just on the side there. And then I'm going to go to my evolution, go to, say, bonus elements. And we'll take the sunburst element and we'll drag that out. And that's sort of this interesting effect. Does all that. What I'm going to do is go to this point in time and create a freeze frame. Now, if you're in After Effects 7 and CS3, you can right click, choose time, and you can choose freeze frame. It might be kind of hard to see. Freeze frame. Or you can enable time remapping, set a keyframe, and then delete the front and end keyframes, and that'll create a still frame. But if you do have 7 or CS3, you just right-click time and click freeze frame, and may have gone off the screen there, but I can assure you it's there. And we'll change the transfer mode of this to overlay, and then we can move it down kind of around this star area. And we'll take the ellipse tool, and we'll click right in the middle. And then if you hold down Alt, let's see, if you hold down Control and Shift, you can sort of cut it out. And then if you hit F, you can feather it. And then if that's not perfect, you can hit M again, twice, and bring the expansion down so that just a little bit there. Okay, now the next thing we'll do is bring our flourish in. So I'm going to go to our flourishes collection. We're going to take number 11, drag this out right onto our comp, scale it down, and we'll choose Effect, Generate, Fill. So we'll make it like a dark green color. Now the elements can also be flipped pretty easily. So if you go to the Scale Transform property, you unlink it, and then you can type a negative in front of one of the values, and it'll essentially flip it over. And you can do it for one or the other, and flip flop. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'll probably make this a little bit darker. So we'll just change it, make it just a little darker. And then I can duplicate it, edit, duplicate. And we'll make this, say, white, with a little bit of yellow maybe. And we'll change the transfer mode of this to, add, and bring the opacity down. Or maybe even just overlay, bring the opacity up. And then we'll scale it down. Oh, it flipped back over. Actually, we'll go ahead and take the negative off of the front and flip it and then scale it down so that this one is sort of facing that way. And then if I take the rotate tool, I can sort of rotate it and make it kind of come out of that same area. Now, right now, the design has a lot of green, not as much warmth as I want. So I'm going to go back to our background. And I'm going to select the green here. We're going to sort of just shift this over. So I want to keep it green, but I want to sort of get closer to the yellow, like a lime color. So yeah, that's a lot more like what I was originally hoping for. So, and you'll notice, as you should with all the elements, is like the leaves, they don't just mask on, they actually grow. You see them kind of pop out and they kind of bounce. That was a lot of work. So hope you're getting paid good money to do this. Now the other thing we can do is go to our sunburst, and let's see, if we hit R, we can rotate it. And actually, it looks like the anchor point is a little off. So take the pan behind tool, and we'll move the anchor point right into the center of the star. And so now we can rotate it. And what we can do is keyframe the rotation. So set a keyframe, move forward, and just rotate it somewhat. And so you're going to kind of have this little spinning sun. Perfect. This is the kind of thing you'd probably see for like a toxic waste company, like a waste management. They would have some like, fruity looking, nature design. And then there would be, this title that said, we care. And, children drinking like toxic waste, or something like that. I actually worked on a commercial for that. It's actually exactly what we did. So the kids are just drinking the toxic waste. It's great, actually. Now our sunburst gets cut off a little early, but we've already frozen it. So we'll just extend it so that it stays, and then we'll just extend the animation so that it kind of spins on forever. Now the We Care title, the truth is we should probably change the font. So on the DVD you'll find a cool font called Porcelain, and it's a free font, but I've included it on the DVD, and check out, he's got some other great fonts, misprintedtype.com. Cool stuff. So what we're going to type is Porcelain, and we'll make sure that we don't use caps, and we'll scale it up, and we can capitalize care. Let's see, we can scale it down, and maybe move the flourishes over a little bit. Okay, so that's looking really good. We can take the We Care and we'll add a gradient. So I'll choose Effect, Generate, let's see, Ramp, and we'll move these points down closer, and we'll choose, like green and a dark green. Okay, well, that's looking really good. Probably want to put like a toxic waste sign here. So I'll create a new solid. And I'm going to go ahead and take the pen tool. And we're going to go ahead and just start drawing a little shape here. And we'll get this right. Take the pen tool again, and we're going to just draw a couple of more shapes. Crooked nose. And then I'll hit M. Let's see, just M once. And we'll set the second masks to subtract. That's great. And then we'll take the pen tool again, and we'll draw our bones. So we'll just select a layer, and let's see, we'll just draw a bone. Perfect. And then we'll take that mask and we'll duplicate it, edit, duplicate, and then we'll double click on it and we'll rotate it. So that's looking really good, and probably take the gradient from the We Care, select it and copy it, and I'm going to paste it to the skeleton, so so he looks a little bit more friendly. You definitely want to portray a good image when you're doing this kind of thing. So anyway, you guys get the idea, and I hope you found this tutorial useful, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy evolution.